Oh, we're streaming.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Brace. I'm the showrunner for VCF East, Vintage Computer Festival East, which will be April 12th, 13th, and 14th next week in Wall Township, New Jersey, at the Infwich Science and History Museum. All right. Hold on. I hear myself somewhere.
Oh, I've done that so many times.
All right, there you go. Like, why am I hearing myself? Who do we have with us today? I'm going to go just what is on my screen. We have Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. We have June from Nibbyles and Bytes.
Yo.
We have David from Usagi Electric.
What's up?
We have Sean from Action Retro. Racketeers. We have Steven from Mac 84 and Marc from Curious Marc, and Amiga Bill from Amiga Bill's Twitch channel. So this is an update for VCF East, which is next week. So just wanted to hype it up here with all these great people here. It's going to be a big fun event here. So we have Ron. Ron's going to be on the one of the roundtables, the roundtable that's on Friday, correct?
That is correct. We've got a lot of great people that are coming out to talk about streaming and hopefully maybe kind of a little bit of a primer on how to, get started and what equipment you might need, and just kind of get people over the jitters and just get out there and start showing people your cool stuff.
Excellent. Yes. And we have June. June will be there in appearance. She won't be speaking, but there's a lot of people that are just taking a break this year, just enjoying the show, and that's great. You can meet her somewhere around campus there. It'll be a lot of fun.
You can probably find me somewhere working on something with Usagi, most likely.
I'm gonna need the help, that's for sure.
And speaking of Usagi, he'll be hanging out there Friday and Saturday, but Sunday he's gonna have a special event. What is that special event you're gonna do there, Usagi?
You guys happen to have an old Triad mini computer floating around that happens to also have a 9427H Hawk drive on it, which is a big 14-inch Hawk drive made by CDC. You can see it's so big. That one's on the other side of the room, and you can clearly see it. Same thing as that drive. So we're going to pull that drive out of the Triad, set it up on a table, tear it completely down, pull the heads out of it, lap the heads with some nice green bar and alcohol, put a new platter in it, spin it up, and hopefully get the heads flying by the end of the day.
Wow. Yeah, that'll be on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or
whenever we finish. Or don't.
Exactly. All right, so
live repairs. I like the idea. We were just talking about it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. This will be my first time doing anything like a live repair, so it may go catastrophically where we hit like a roadblock within the first 20 minutes and we don't know how to overcome it. Or it may go great. Who knows? It'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the excitement of live repairs. So that'll be fun. It'll be right outside our museum in Exhibitor Room D. Yes, there's an Exhibitor Room D that's an overflow. We had so many people signing up for exhibits. We have the overflow right outside our museum. And Sean Malseed, he of Action Retro, he will be moderating this roundtable on Friday. And who do we got on that roundtable besides Ron? Oh, you're muted. You're still muted. We can read his lips.
Okay. How about now?
You're good.
I'm not really good with computers.
Oh, that's bad. You're in the wrong place.
Says the man who installs typing on everything.
The hard one.
Don't look behind me. Yeah, geez, I'm so bad with names, but we have what? Ash said hi.
Yes.
Who else do we have?
We have Ron.
Catherine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lord, Lady Aurolos,
That's it.
Arulos.
How do you pronounce it? That was a big point of contention.
It just Arulos off the tongue, guys. Come on.
Arulos
Arulos,
off the tongue. Lady Arulos.
All
Right.
right, I can remember that. Arulos, yes. And who else?
Yeah. Oh, well.
He's waving
I'm
his
on that
hand.
panel as well.
Amiga Bill's on the panel.
I'm on the
There
panel.
we go.
Providing
Okay.
my plane lands in time, which I think it will. Fingers crossed.
You coming in hot from where? Are you coming in hot from?
I'll be coming in hot from St. Louis.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got
Yep.
to work there, and all right. So yeah, it's a cool roundtable. It's you have questions about creating your own channels and trying to get 1 million subscribers and make tons of money. just sit back and relax. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, I think we'll be talking about like how people get started, the kinds of things that people do to be able to stream, vintage machines to Twitch or YouTube, and a lot of interesting information, I think.
My understanding is Sean has said that everyone at the front row of our panel, he will personally guarantee 100,000 subscribers.
100,000. Is that what I said? 100? I thought I said one.
But it's in pesos, so I don't know what the exchange
we
rate
can't go
is,
back
so.
and reprint the brochures now. So
Yeah, it's
have
too
to
late.
run with it.
They're coming tomorrow. The program book there, yes, and they're already out of date. Like there's like a few exhibitors dropped out. I'm like, oh my god, it's out of date. They have to pay, little thing at the front desk. So this person dropped out, but it frees up room because it's going to be crowded there. Last year we tripled the number of people. It was like totally like unexpected. Like we had getting better, and then it was like 3 times the number of people. Like especially Saturday, we had like 1,100 people there Saturday. So it was like a lot of people.
It was incredible.
Consignment area, people love consignment. Some people came there just for consignment, and
You agree?
they love it. Yes, and they were waiting 2 hours in line because we were shoehorned into the cafeteria because that's the only available space we had, and people had to wait 2 hours. And then we had networking problems. Like, oh my god, it was like. So now consignment will be in what we call the firehouse. It's location 4. Here I can bring up the map. It's going to be like a lot of space there. It's like 3 times the space there. Location 4 consignment, so it's going to be 3 times the space. It's an old firehouse that used to be at Camp Evans. We have a new system for consignments. It's you'll see it on our website, and you could enter information through the app or websites and print out labels. And so so far it's been working well because we haven't had a lot of complaints so far or errors or problems. So it looks like it's a superior to last year. So people will be selling and buying and selling their consignment, and it's a little walk there, but it's going to be a lot more room, so less problems with being crowded.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing a bunch of stuff for consignment, and that new system is super easy. That's so great.
Yeah. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. And we have a lot of volunteers there set up, and we have there was one more thing. So it'll be a different entrance for consignment. So then when people come in, if this consignment starts, drop-off starts Friday at 5 p.m., goes to, I think, 10 p.m. So there's a side gate for people to drop off and then go back out. So there won't be problems with going through the campus here, through the main gates, and then dropping off over here. So they'll just go in and out, and you won't have to worry about pedestrian traffic there.
Now, last year, back in that area, there was an actual some sort of county fire department or volunteer fire service actually has a building back there. Is it that building, or is it
building. Yes,
it's the same
building.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's they actually fit 4 fire engines in that building to understand how big it is. But they're going to move their fire engines out. They already moved out 2 today, and they'll move out the other 2 next week. Extreme close-up with Sean. But yes, so that's what is going to be a future museum, Southern Monmouth County Fire Museum. They're slowly repairing it, building it up, but it will be a fire museum. So yes, their volunteer firefighters are putting their money into repairing that space.
That's pretty great. Sorry to sidetrack, but that's really interesting. There's so much interesting stuff that's going on at the site. It's hard to see it all. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's right. That's the appeal to the show is that I look at all these other people that took footage and posted it to their channel, and they're like, I come from Boston, and I wouldn't come there just for a swap meet, but I would come for this because there's all these different things, consignment, exhibitors, talks, and then you have the Info Age museums. You have all of those museums. You have the Radio Technology Museum. You have Electronic Warfare. You have this radio dish down the road, which took the first weather systems pictures. All these other museums, and you have tanks. You have the Military Technology Museum, 7,000 foot. So there's 27,000 feet of military vehicles and planes and things like that. And
I'm a big fan of the Radio and TV Museum. It's really beautiful and really well done. It's fantastic, and like you said, it's one of the coolest things about VCF East is it gets you to this incredible venue. I love the venue where it's held. It's got a really cool vibe. Everyone who comes to the show is a lot of fun, but it's also just great to come in. It's a great weekend, a great day to spend at Info Age Science Center as well. The venue is just fantastic, and I love that TV and Radio Museum. It's really a gem.
Yeah, they're always adding stuff to it. So if you were there last year and you saw the museums, and come back this year, because then there's like additional things that you can see there, especially that one, and the VCF museum. It's going to be there too, and Doug and some others, they really revamped that. You're going to really be impressed by the changes there. So lots of good stuff to see, and those museums, the Info Age museums, will be open 12 to 5 p.m. The VCF museum will have extended hours, so it will be open on Friday starting at 10 a.m. And also open on Saturday, Sunday.
The museum is really neat. There's like an Atari ST there with like some Roland MIDI equipment and things like that, playing music and things. You can kind of experiment, touch things. Pro tip, you can go there and you can do karaoke with that machine. No one will stop you. Lots of fun.
And we have Steven here from Mac 84. What are you going to be doing there at VCF? What are you going to do there? I can't hear you. You're not muted, but I can't hear you. You have to switch around something. Maybe he's trying to. You guys are in the same room. You got to.
Yeah,
there
it's
you
dumb.
go.
It's all Sean's fault. But yeah. So I'll be sharing a table with him and Ron and our friend Mike, and so we'll have a lot of cool stuff on display. But there will also be. I'm hearing myself in the microphone. Sorry. We'll also have a talk about collecting vintage Macs on Friday and like repair tips. So that'll be with Ron, and we'll be basically a combination of a lot of the previous talks we gave at VCF about that, but sort of like a condensed version and some of the new tools and upgrades that are modern things that people are making, which are really cool.
Wow. Yeah, pretty nice. So you guys have an exhibit, as well as you and Ron are going to be doing a talk on repairing Macs. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. People always are interested in repairing and finding out like what to do.
What's our exhibit called? Totally Normal Computing, or
no, it's colorful apples and weird things or something like that.
Weird.
It's in the program. Download the program.
Here, let me share. Let me see. Actually, hold on. I can just open up a VCF, and then I will do it this way.
I don't want everyone to see all my e-waste.
So the program book is here, VCF East. Here, you click on that one, and then you can go to program book. It's finally done, but then now it's inaccurate. So it has all good information here. We had a guy named Drew do this. It's really great. So it's a good schedule here, activities, where to go to eat. If we do have some food on campus. It's minimal food, but it's actually a chef is going to be cooking there, just like hamburger, hot dog, chili, some basic stuff, chips and drinks, just in case you don't want to go. But if you did want to go, this is very nearby. This is a great Italian deli. They loved us because they were had a bunch of people, and they were one of our sponsors. Speakers, there's the campus map is right in there, exhibit map, and exhibitors. So there's 4 rooms, A, B, C, and D. So I think you guys are in C, right? There's Hawk Drive Madness. There you go. Every wish you could see Dave Levitt in person with Work is Magic, you can at location 2D as he interactively tears down VCF's Triad computer systems, CDC Hawk Drive, in preparation for restoration. Will you get a spin up? To be tuned in for that exciting event.
I mean, I've been mentally wargaming it for like a month now, so I have a pretty good game plan. We'll see how it goes though.
All right, he's getting prepared. He's doing the montage for lifting his soldering iron and circuits and everything. He's getting ready for it. He says, "I'm ready for you."
Yeah, I am gonna need some help because the thing weighs 135 pounds. So I will have to enlist somebody to help me get it on the table at the very least.
We'll be there for you.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, we got plenty
It's
strong
a baby
people.
computer for you, 135 pounds.
Mac.
I mean, considering that that one is literally 1,000 pounds, 135, nothing. That one almost literally killed me trying to get it into the room because we were coming through the door, and the door has like a little threshold on the bottom, right? And so I have to get this 1,000-pound machine to wheel up over the threshold and into the room. And we had this piece of steel down to make a nice ramp, and it just folded in the piece of steel. It was steel that I could stand on, but whatever. 1,000 pounds is 1,000 pounds, right? So we kind of get a running go at it, and we get it over the threshold, and I'm pulling from inside the room. And then once it's over the threshold, that's 1,000 pounds of momentum. And I'm trying to keep it from running me over. It was, I didn't film that because it was terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was almost killed by a Bendix computer from the 50s.
Yeah, you've been talking about that on your channel. It's from System Source, repairing that machine. It's been really wonderful because I've seen that in our museum for the last, 7 years, something like that. Just seeing the machine, I'm like, nobody could ever get that thing working. How can anybody get that working? And then there you are. You're step by step, getting different parts of that working.
We're pretty close. So far we've gotten the AC to come up. So the machine comes up in stages. When you flip the switch, it's not, you don't just flip the switch and BASIC comes up. If only it were that simple. No, you flip the big switch on the front and it brings AC up first. So that brings filaments, they all light up. But most importantly, the rotating drum spins up. So it has rotating drum memory in it. But without any DC, it's not doing anything. But we were able to scope across one of the reed heads on the rotating drum because there's magnetic flux on there, and that's going to induce a current in the reed head. So we were able to see that it has a good timing track and a good clock on it. So the next step is bringing DC up, and we're almost ready to do that. When that happens, then things start happening. The typewriter comes to life. The paper tape reader starts doing things, and then it starts trying to execute code, and then that'll be quite exciting. So that's coming up after I get back from VCF.
And then we get BASIC.
And then we what?
And then we get BASIC.
Yeah, then we get
BASIC.
We get Algol actually, which is the predecessor to BASIC's predecessor.
Wasn't invented yet, I think.
Yeah. I think the closest is Algol, but we also have Intercom, both of which are a similar idea to BASIC. They're a high-level programming language that runs on the Bendix. But I mean, that high level is still almost lower than what we would consider modern day assembly.
A lot of people say when they come into the museum, like see this whole machine and like, whoa, what did people use this for, right? And so this specific one was actually used to create to design, I think, some tunnel in Baltimore area, I believe. It could actually do calculations like it. I mean, essentially, just computers were used for massive calculations.
Yeah, they did a lot of, so this machine plus the machine that you had at the museum, plus I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but the next machine that's coming, and then the fourth machine that's at Bob's Place in System Source. All four of those machines were owned by the same enthusiast who bought them in like 1967, I want to say. And he held them all the way until he passed in 2021, I want to say. Oh, maybe it was 2019. It was pre-pandemic. But I don't know. Time stopped when the pandemic hit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But those four, they're all brothers. So this machine is a brother machine to the machine that you guys have up there.
Yes, we'll be getting it soon. System Source will be delivering it at VCF East.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so we were getting back a Bendix, not the Bendix that we originally had. That one was sold off by the family that owned it.
Yep.
But we will get a Bendix, which is great.
Excellent.
So Mark, what happened to Mark? He disappeared.
I'm just making experiments here. I'm getting NC. I switch.
Let's see what Mark is doing. So Mark, what are you going to be doing at VCF? Why are you there?
Okay, hold on. Let me come back.
I got him at exactly the right time. Look at his. What is that? Calculator there. I saw a calculator there.
Trying my other camera. Taking the advantage of having this as a streaming test platform. We're going to talk about the restoration of our Apollo guidance computer with also Ken Sheriff and Carl Clouch will be there. Unfortunately, Mike could not join. And there is the very knowledgeable Frank O'Brien supposed to ask us questions. He's the one that wrote that excellent book about the AGC. And so we're going to talk about that, how it was to repair it, but how you approach restoration of something that's unique and that precious. Also, how it works and the role it had in computing and all that good sort of things.
Yeah.
Will you be bringing anything like a spare disky or something? Like if there's such a thing as a spare disky.
We have a spare disky screen, but to light it up, it's a whole rigmarole. No, I was not planning on bringing anything. That's the problem with what we have. It has been really hard to show at events like VCF. We did pirate the disky, but at VCF West, where you could just get in, do a talk about it, fire it up, and then leave. I think that's the best we can do is set it up, have it up for 1 hour. But because security has always been a problem for that stuff. It's not ours, and you know how it's at VCF, right? People try to erase your hard disk, no matter what machine you put in there. And we don't want any damage.
But we do have
I'll bring pictures and stories.
We do have a module from Apollo Guidance Computer at InfoH, which will be out on display.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, we do have one of those. And I think, if I recall correctly, it was like a test one. It wasn't actually used in flying, but it was used on the ground to test things. That's what I remember.
Okay. Well, thinking through it, I could bring a few things. I have a little card from the LVDC, the other computer, the one that was in Saturn V, the IBM. So I have a piece of that. I have some smaller modules that were. I could bring the gyroscope. Or they're transportable. I could bring. I hadn't thought about it. But yeah, it's a little bit far to transport our stuff, plus the stuff that just next door, we are coming to an end with our Apollo communication system, and it's 650 pounds of equipment.
Oh boy.
How are we going to show it? We showed it once, but I had the might of an entire company to help me out.
Oh yeah.
We showed it at Design Con, but I had a team of 10 people. And
Yeah.
even then, it was difficult.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, your roundtable will be the finale of the show. You'll be at the roundtable from 2 p.m. to 3:30. That will be the finale of the show. But one thing I like about VCF East is that we have such a broad spectrum of different topics and people, and this is like a perfect topic to blend between like those who are interested in space and also computers, and I think it'll be really a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the rare computers that you can pin the history of mankind on.
And Frank will do a good job of moderating that and talking to you guys and giving, asking questions like about what you think about different things. And so it'll be really great. So June, what are you looking forward to when you come to VCF East? What are you thinking about?
Well, seeing all of you guys for sure. It's been a long time, so it'd be good to go and do more VCF, hanging out and talking about what kind of cool technology and stuff. I'm definitely interested in the Disky talk. I haven't actually been to any of your talks. Curious, Mark.
Okay.
So looking forward to that.
Excellent.
But I mean, honestly, just going there, just seeing all the exhibits, everything that everybody's putting out, talking to people about the history of these computers, just being there, really.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see.
It is a festival, so the festival is just the idea of let's come together, let's socialize, let's enjoy it, let's have fun, let's there's a lot to do there. There's an Atari classroom there. You can learn, sit down and learn how to program the Atari. Every year we do a different one. For 1 year we did Apple II, then we did Commodore 64. This year's Atari. What will be next year, I don't know, but those guys really have it together. Tom Cherry Holmes of FujiNet will be there to
awesome.
be combined. He'll be doing 2 talks. One of them about back in the day, how did you actually make games on these old computers? And then also a FujiNet update, and you'll be integrating FujiNet into the Atari classroom. And right next door is going to be Glitchworks. Maybe some of you are familiar with Glitchworks. He's going to have some different kits that you could put together. I really wish I could give him more room because he's always like busting at the seams with people coming in there. Amiga Bill, what are you looking forward to at the show?
Oh, I'm looking forward to everything. Most importantly, just like hanging out with a lot of friends. I'm super lucky that, I run the Westchester Amiga user group in Westchester County, New York. And a lot of folks, now that since the pandemic, the cool thing that happened is that we went virtual, which allowed a lot of people from all over the country and like literally all over the world, join our club. We have virtual meetings every month. So a lot of folks are coming in from pretty far away who I don't usually get to see in person. Like we got, my old buddy Anthony is coming up from Florida.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, our friend Greg, he's Greg of Florida. He's coming up from Florida. We got the real Tony Rocks coming in from Pittsburgh. We got Dave Test, Voxeltrots, who I'm doing the exhibit with. He's coming in from State College, Pennsylvania. We got Brother Bill, Anthony's brother. He's coming in from North Carolina. And we got Stefano. He's bringing an Amiga 1000 with the Parciero board for our exhibit. And he's a key member of WUG. And he's going to, it's just going to be great to see everyone, in person together. So that's what I'm looking forward to most. But of course, I'm looking forward to my exhibit and talking to people about Amiga. It's going to be a little bit different than past Amiga exhibits that I did, because the past exhibits were more about like the historical Amiga computers, and like we will have an Amiga 1000 there. But this exhibit is more about like the cool modifications you can do on Amigas. So like I said, we'll have the original Amiga 1000 with the Parciero 2 add-on card, which is super, super rad. And then I'll have my Amiga 1200 there that's like all pimped out with like LEDs that are sunk to the music or sunk to any RF sounds coming out of it, and other LED modifications called Bifrost that show like floppy drive and disk drive access, and you can customize them. I got a translucent case for it, which is cool. A compact flash card instead of a hard drive, and all kinds of neat stuff that all kinds of new like add-ons for the Amiga. It's another thing called a GoX drive. It lets you load Amiga disk image files on an SD card. So lots of like really cool add-ons for your Amiga. And then being that, you know, I saw the theme was GUIs, you know, and Amiga is obviously a graphical computer. I was like, you know, let's show a few different Amiga GUIs. So we'll have like the original Amiga 1000, you know, Workbench 1.2, 1.3 GUI. We'll have 3.1 on the Amiga 1200. We'll have, you know, 3.2 on Dave's Amiga 1200. And then we'll have some interesting stuff. Like the Amiga community is so cool. Like I can't believe like how vibrant it is here in 2024. We've got something called a Vampire V4 standalone, which is like an evolution of the Amiga OS. So we'll see the we'll see Apollo. It's called Apollo OS. I think Brother Bill is bringing his Morph OS computer, and we're gonna have a Raspberry Pi. I'm gonna have a Raspberry Pi running something called Pi Amiga 4, which is a Scalos environment for Amiga. And like, so all these people are doing this like really cool things for Amiga, because obviously, you know, Commodore stopped in 1994. But the Amiga, Commodore died, but the Amiga didn't. So there's lots of activity happening in the Amiga community. I'll have my Amiga X5000, Amiga 1 X5000, which was the brainchild of a gentleman called Trevor Dickinson, and he always dreamed of an Amiga 5000, but Amiga stopped with the 4000. So the 5000 was his power PC baby, and it runs Amiga OS 4.1. So I'll have that there. So it's going to be an interesting Amiga exhibit. So cool add-ons for your Amiga, like modern add-ons for your Amiga, as well as Amiga alternative OS environments that happened post Commodore.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, that's one of the things is that, you know, you still see this vibrant hobbyist culture where they created all these new devices to extend and enhance the machines. You know, I know that in the Commodore 64 with you know, Jim Brain and Retro Innovations are making all these different things and different people. So, you know, it's great to see all these really cool stuff to make it even better and easier to use. Because like sometimes like the floppy drives, they fail. But if you have like SD card, this is great.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. You know, I'm a big fan of computer history. So like all the machines you see behind me here, they're all like original. So I'm very lucky that I can have multiple copies of machines. So that's like my original 1000 and 2500. But then I also have, you know, my original 1200. But then I have a second copy of it, which I modify with all the modern add-ons, which is really cool. And I'm really lucky to be able to have, you know, multiple Amigas, like ones to keep original and ones to play with and add on and put. Oh yeah, I'll have an 060 card in my 1200 as well. Terrible Fire 060. It's like a budget-friendly 060 card, so it's fun to have. I like to keep it original, like, you know, bring back all that nostalgia. My 1 megabyte Amiga 500 with a floppy drive is just perfect. But then it's really fun too to like play with all the new add-ons for them too. And you know, if the Amiga hardware now, I'm sure other computers are like this too, but like the value of them has just gone up like crazy. Like some of these Amigas back here I got for free. Like people were getting rid of them in like 2001. No one wanted an Amiga. So I was like, I'll take it. So that's how I got most of my collection. But now they actually have a lot of value and they're quite expensive. But the cool thing is, if you're, you know, it's hard to also maintain these original machines. So that's why things like the Vampire, you know, V4 standalone, like the Raspberry Pi, like they're amazing tools that you can use to experience Amiga without having to like own a real one, which can be quite expensive and a lot of work to maintain and keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a lot of fun stuff. One of the things that is, like you said, is like I see people only once a year sometimes, and they come to VCF East. And one quote I love from Anthony was, "If you're within 20 hours driving distance, there's no excuse for not coming to VCF East."
Yeah, I think he's driving up from Florida, that madman. I think he and Greg are like, they got like a trunk full of Red Bulls and they're driving up. I mean, you guys are nuts, but hey, you know, that's how much they love it.
Yeah, and it's right. It's just a good excuse. Like, take some vacation days off, come to VCF East, meet your friends. You know, you see them once a year, and then, you know, meet all these great people that are here in this chat here. It's great.
There's
Steven.
nothing like meeting in person. Yeah, there's nothing like meeting in person. Like I said, even Westchester Amiga User Group, we meet virtually now, but there's just nothing like getting together in person and hanging out, throwing back a couple of your favorite beverages, and firing up the old machines. It's the best, because I love the Amiga, but for me, Amiga has always been more about the Amiga community and the people around it than the machine itself. So
yeah,
I'm psyched
one
to see
thing
all my old friends.
Yeah, what happened with COVID was like I was able to attend the TPUG meetings, and they're out of Toronto, and I wouldn't have gone there because I live 8 hours away from there. So because I live like less than 10 minutes away from InfoH. That's how I got roped into this place. But I was able to see that, and I was actually meet them. And I went to the World of Commodore that they have once a year, the first weekend of December. So yeah, the community, it's just fun to meet people. You know,
Hey Jeff, you're doing a great job, man. You make the show really friendly, and I appreciate you. And I can't even imagine like how many hours of work you put into the show. It's so you and your team are awesome, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. We're always looking to make it better and keep it fun, and you know, that's what makes it worth it, is to see people happy afterwards. Hey, Steven, so what are you looking forward to most at VCF East? He has to go over. He got to go back.
He gave me the broken computer.
I made him use Linux. He doesn't know how to use it.
I don't think it likes my microphone. Sorry, what was the question again?
My question is, what are you looking forward to the most about VCF?
Oh gosh, I think the best part of it is, like you were saying, just like meeting up with your friends again, but also like there's so many interesting things on display. There's always something like I didn't know existed, or like a huge system that is like lugged in from like miles and miles and miles or states away, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I also love how creative people are with their booths. Like they'll tie in different subjects together, or they'll make one machine do something it wasn't designed to do with like a add-on card, or communicate to something else. There was an awesome setup last year where I think it was a mini PDP system set up with a camera, and it would take your picture, load it, and do all this stuff, and then print out this huge dot matrix banner view, and that was amazing.
I'm pretty sure that was Guesswain's setup.
Yes.
Yeah, he was printing it on a Data 100 printer, which
That's
is
what it was.
that one right there.
Yes.
So exact same printer.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll be doing it again this year. So the main theme was the rise of the GUI in honor of the 40th anniversary of the original Macintosh. But the second theme is computer art, and so computer art, he's going to do again basically ASCII art on a PDP 8, I believe, or 11. I don't know, one of those. But I'm
pretty sure it's a PDP 8 setup. Yes. David Guesswain he's probably the most knowledgeable person when it comes to PDP 8s still around. So I'm pretty sure it's a PDP 8 setup. It's not the old straight 8, but it's like you guys have in the museum. You guys have an old PDP straight 8 in the museum that's beautiful. Yes. Go check it out. But it's a couple of newer iterations than that. But he's got it in a big honking rack with the Data 100 next to it. It's a sight to behold.
Yeah, it was so cool, like it working and hear all the noises that it was making. And you had to like stay perfectly still for a few seconds. Like it was an experience. I'm so glad that Ron got his taken, because I didn't know it was even a thing. We're at our booths the whole time, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't actually, since I run the show, I often don't get a chance to enjoy it. There's always like a window of like 10 minutes where I can like, nothing's going on, I'm just gonna go around and enjoy these exhibits here. I didn't get the chance to do it, so again, I'm happy he'll do it again this year, and I can get an ASCII arter myself.
It's a memento, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I hung mine up in my office at work, and people stopped by and they're like, "What is that?" And it was absolutely like a conversation starter with people who just aren't familiar with that era of computing. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing with kids coming into the museum. It used to be they look at the computer, it's like, where's the keyboard? And then they're like, and then the next, later on, kids older, next generation, where's the mouse? And then then people are trying to tap on the Macintosh screen like it's a touch screen. Like they don't understand that there used to be a mouse that you used. There was no touch screen, and before that there was a keyboard, and before that there was no keyboard. It was just knobs and switches.
I remember because last year I bumped into Elijah Wood at the show and I was explaining something and he was like, "You have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy."
All right. Sean, what are you looking forward to most about the show?
Well, I like computers and I like people, so I hear this is the place to be.
It is the place to be.
I love VCF East so much. I mean, I've been to a bunch of different VCFs. I think, honestly, VCF East is still my favorite because it just has a very unique atmosphere. It's, part convention, part science fair. Everybody's like hacking on stuff and tinkering, and, exhibits are always interactive, and everybody's just so happy to tell you what they've been working on. And just meeting all these people doing all these really cool things is just incredible, and I look forward to it every year. It's the first VCF I ever went to, and I couldn't imagine missing a year. And I just love exhibiting there so much. I get to hang out with this guy who's in my basement right now, and a few other people. Ron's going to be there, and we have Mike's going to be there in our exhibit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're almost finished figuring out what we're going to bring, but
it sounds like some of the guys that are at VCF are like, they're trying to get stuff to going and figuring it out and repairing it. And...
It's an unending question. You never know what favorite thing to bring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's the thing, honestly, is paring it down, right? Because every year I overestimate how big the tables are, and I wind up bringing too much stuff. So I think I'm going to pick 3 real good things to bring. I'm planning on. So I built a modern B box running Haiku, and I'm going to have a bunch of emulation running on it, showing different old operating systems, in line with the theme this year.
Please tell me you have like geek likes.
Well, it's QEMU running Sun OS, not Solaris, but Sun OS. I got Mini VMAC to compile, which actually wasn't that hard, and so that's going to be running some old Macintosh stuff, and then like OS2 Warp on there, and I was trying to get Windows ME to run, but surprise, it won't run. So some version of Windows will be on there.
So are you nesting these things?
I wish I was nesting them. That would be hilarious. No, it's just I wrote a script that just launches them all at the same time. So basically run the script, cross your fingers, and they all come up.
Do you say it's a V-box from
I'm excited.
BOS? What?
So it's... sorry, my volume was weird.
Okay. Say it again, Mark.
You say it's a B-box?
Yeah,
B-box.
So back in the day, the B software company actually had their own computers, PowerPC computers, running BOS. And they're kind of famous because they have those 2 like vertical blinking lights on the front of them, which are my favorite thing ever. So I built a modern PC with like a Core i9 running Haiku, which is like the open source spiritual successor of BOS, still looks like BOS and acts a lot like BOS. And I put 2 like modern RGB like vertical things on there to kind of look like the old B-box. So it's running Haiku, and then I've got QEMU, a bunch of instances of that on there, and then I compiled Mini VMAC. So it's going to be like, and it's also running the original BOS inside of Haiku, which I think is hilarious. Yeah.
I should put you in touch with Jean-Louis Gasset, the founder. He lives nearby. He's a good friend.
Wow, that's amazing.
The French Silicon Valley clique.
I would be starstruck if I ever spoke to him. I got to be the biggest world's biggest fan.
Okay, so you send me an email, I'll put you in touch.
Wow, thank you. That's
this is another thing that happens at VCF East is that there's a lot of networking going on. People have connections with different things or different computers, or they get ideas. I just remembered there was something like, there was a FujiNet. There was a FujiNet exhibits. I think it was last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, but someone was like, they were trying to figure out the FujiNet, and someone just walked by and says, "Hey, have you thought about doing this and this and this?" And like, I hadn't thought about that. And then it fixed the problem that they were working on. It's just like, it was like the most amazing thing. It was like a lot of fun.
And that's very true. Like the networking and the making connections with other people in the hobby, so important. It's I talk to people that just are like, oh, there's nobody in my area of the country that does any of this stuff. And it's, I don't really, I'm not a social media person or whatever. And it's like, well, then you got to get out to some of these shows. Even if it's a plane ride, it's still worth it. I live in the Midwest, so it's like a 30-hour drive for me. But being from the Midwest, that's totally drivable. So, but it's well worth making the trip to this event, especially just because there's so many cool things that are going on with VCF East as an event, but there's all of the little things that are attached to it as well. Like I mean, not that it's anything directly related, but there's literally a room that is designed to sort of look like a sort of an early 20th century living room with radio, and you could sit in there and you could just listen to radio programs. I did that after close one year at the show. Steve's like looking around trying to see if I got kidnapped or something like that. No, I was just sitting in the room with like a group of people. We were just listening to the radio.
Yes, but it's a 40s living room. You can touch screen and like that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But it's
that's in the Radio and TV Museum. I love that exhibit.
Yes.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. There's a model train exhibit, or at least there was previously.
Yeah, so there's so they have there's a model train, and there's one part of it is just like a push button, it moves things. Mm-hmm. But then they open up their big layout that is ongoing layout for like 5 or 6 or 7 years of model trains.
Mm-hmm. But it's so many families that I saw there that it was like that, and it was like the kid or the parents weren't even into computers. It was the kids that were just like, oh, we've got to get over. Oh, we've got to look at this. We got to look at this, and dragging their parents like back and forth, like building to building. Everybody got their steps in that day. That's for sure.
Oh, God.
But it was just really amazing to see people. And then I'd bump into those people too and be like, hey, is this your first time here? It's my first time here. Here's the neat things that I saw that maybe you didn't see. There's all kinds of like military equipment out back. You can just go back there, take a look at things, take pictures. The whole site is eminently walkable. So I just went out there and just did laps around the buildings and just to see everything that was there. I was just really, really impressed by just the sheer amount of things to see. If you come one day, you will not see everything. If you come 2 days, you'll probably see everything. If you come 3 days, you're probably going to get arrested for trespassing. Maybe not, but
well, come 3 days because you get supplies permitting, you get a special badge for buying 3 days. And you also, if you prepay, then you can come in the side entrance, so you don't have to walk along the grass road along the barbed wire fence. So buy your tickets early, buy 3 days, because it's totally worth it. And take days off work. Let's make a good vacation out of it.
Buy 2 3-day passes and bring a friend.
That's right. That's a good idea.
Bring that person that has been inside since like 2019, and just like when you open up the door, like the first thing that rolls out is like that beard that they just their COVID beard, and you'd be like, shave up. We're gonna go check this out. It's a lot of fun.
And it's like there's one guy, Johan Grip of Neo C-128s. He's flying here from Sweden, and he is, last year he made a vacation out of it, and he or was it 2 years ago? I lose track of year to year, but he came and he stayed in the area. There's plenty, there's New York City. We're halfway between New York City and Philadelphia. So you have 2 cities there, and there's stuff to see in New Jersey, like, Monmouth Battlefield. That was an important battle in Revolutionary War. So even besides like what we have in Infowage, there's plenty of other stuff to do in the area. I mean, it's the Jersey Shore, but it's not quite good weather yet, but I did order the weather, and the weather, it says Saturday and Sunday about 70 degrees of the show. So I'm getting the weather that I ordered, so it's going to be good. Friday is going to be a little bit rainy, but that's okay.
I love Asbury Park as well. It's just around the corner from Wall, and in Asbury Park you got the Silver Ball Arcade. They call it the Silver Ball Museum. Yeah, it's amazing that it's a pinball museum, and also
I'm being a little biased.
There you go.
Being a bit of a pinball fan, but yeah, if Silver Balls was worth it.
Yeah, Silverboard's awesome. They have great pinball machines with a lot like information about every machine and some really old ones from like the 50s. And they have great arcade machines there too. And if you're a movie fan, they've shot a lot of movies there, including Chasing Amy with Kevin Smith, one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
I love Silverball. It's so cool. And then if you're a music fan and you're into Bruce Springsteen, Stone Ponies, 2 blocks away. So it's always fun to go there and catch a show. Yeah, it's a really great spot. I love Asbury.
Yeah, Asbury Park has really grown over the last 7 to 8 years. It's so nice there. Lots of things to do and places to eat. So we're actually going to be, a bunch of us are going to be going there to the Friday and Saturday night. I'm going to be there Saturday, but probably not Friday because I'm helping there set up exhibit. But lots of great stuff to do in that area. Yes, and then there's Red Bank, which has Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash comic book store, and then some of the places they filmed so Chasing Emmy, yes. So it's a lot of fun there.
I got Steve to take me there last year to the Quick Stop, and I bought a lot of gum while I was there. I just got to take back home. I bought like individual stick or packs of gum, and I was like, go ahead and just ring these up on separate transactions. I was like, so you got a little receipt, you got your Chuli's gum, you're all set. Yep.
And also former Bell Labs me, I used to live there. I used to work in Homedale, right?
Oh yes.
On the corner. And not just behind Homedale there's Crawford Hill, and you have the antenna that discovered the Big Bang still there.
Yes. They preserved it. They were going to tear it down, and then people stopped them, and they saved it from being destroyed. So yes, it was.
Goodness gracious, they did.
Yes,
it was vandalized. I heard. But it's still you still see the horn, and I remember talking to Bob Wilson, the one that got the Nobel Prize with Arno Penzias when he was at Bell Labs, when they were thinking their antenna didn't quite work because they got noise in it, and they were trying to find out if it was bird poop or something like that. Nope, turned out to be the Big Bang.
Yeah. In fact, talking about Bell Labs, the invention of the transistor, Fred Carl, the founder of InfoAge, he had saved InfoAge and made it a National Historic Monument. He's going to be talking about the invention of the transistor, Bell Labs' role, and also Camp Evans' role. Camp Evans had a role in creation of the transistor, and he's going to be talking about that in one of the talks there.
All the good things that happen in New Jersey.
Yes. Lots of cool things happen. Yes, Bell Labs was there, and there's also Murray Hill also has like so further North Jersey had a world there. They have this a lot of things were invented there, and they have this like really cool soundproof room. It's really amazing. I went in there, visited there. They give tours. I don't know, maybe during the week, but a lot of cool stuff to see in the area. Did my sound go?
Nope, you're there. I'm sold. Right, I'm coming. I'm coming now. I was on the fence at the beginning of this stream, but I'm definitely going to be there.
Ron's coming all 6 days.
That's right. All 6 days. I'm gonna sleep above the ceiling tiles after Sunday night. I'm gonna see what the real event's like.
Yeah, you could definitely come and help me. I already started moving stuff. You can help set up on Wednesday and Thursday and break down afterwards, and it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I've considered expanding the show to 4 days, but I don't know. People might say that's too much, but because it gets so big and there's so much to do, and to pack it into 3 days, and then it's done.
Well, just think, if you go 4 days, that's a whole other day for these demonstrations and like these classes and things like that. I don't know. I'm just saying that people more than ever really appreciate events like this, just because you can get out, and it's a family friendly thing that you can get your kids excited about technology. I mean, kids today, these kids today. No, Kids today, and their interaction with technology, it's like their whole understanding is like Chromebook and iPhone.
It's cool. Yeah.
And it's okay. That's the world we live in. But it's like there's this huge, rich history that got us here. And let's go and let's do that. And I want you to know how to solder. You don't understand like what an important skill that is. So to do some of these little kits or work on projects, and even if you solder together wrong, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of like good experience and stuff that you'll carry forward. And who knows, parents at home, if you drag your kids out to this thing, they may actually want to pick a STEM career or something like that. So then you don't have to worry about like, it's like, I understand that you want to be a professional Fortnite player, but let's get a career that gets you off mom and dad's couch when you're 28.
Yes, there's on Sunday, I believe it's Sunday or Saturday, there's a Learn to Solder in CDL. So you can learn to solder some basic kits there. So that's great. I like the hands-on aspect.
Absolutely.
I mean, most importantly, though, we need to teach them where the save icon came from.
Right.
You have a 3D printed save icon. That's
I've got an 8-inch
cool.
version around here somewhere. There we go.
Oh,
I got the big save icon.
Yeah.
Oh, you 3D printed that? Oh, so cool.
I actually used that today. I was writing stuff to it.
Oh, there was a floppy disk before the 3.5 inch and before the 5 1/4. Wow,
That's a big boy.
that's amazing. That's really big. It's not just for cartoonish. People actually use that. That was the first floppy disk. 8 inches. So someone had said wanted to show me because I had announced. I put the T-shirts. The T-shirt I announced. Where's the T-shirt? Hold on. Where's my T-shirt? Oh, here it is. Oh, see, that's the T-shirt, right? That's this year's T-shirt. What do you guys think about that?
Not gonna lie, I'd wear it.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, it was my April Fool's joke. So some people fell for it. They're like, I said, there was a big mistake. I sent it there, and then they printed it. It was like, there's no way to return it.
Did you at least do it in MS Paint
Yeah, that was actually
or Deluxe Paint?
I don't know what he did it in. But I'll show you the real T-shirt. The real T-shirt is here. So we have a green, Kelly green, and so. Anybody want to comment on like what they see here? Like, what do you think this is on this here?
I'm thinking it's the original A84 commercial.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the lady on the screen there throwing the hammer, and it's being thrown at what? What is he being thrown at?
It's a terminal, right?
Yes. So it's a terminal, and so it's the Terminator. So what also came out in 1984?
It's linguistically challenging, but I'm with you.
the Terminator movie. So it's a Terminator robot with a VT 800. It's not a real machine being attacked by. So that symbolizes the command line, and it's being observed by the GUIs destroying it basically. Poor command line.
So why 800?
Because you could, it said because there's the T800, the Terminator T800. So instead of VT100, it's VT800, right?
Nice.
So it's very, very subtle there.
That's a deep cut, but I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I love that the hammer is a window filled with files and a scroll bar attached.
That's right. That's right.
When I first saw the artwork for this, I thought all of the little internal workings were like cobwebs. And I was like, that poor robot's crotch.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
And we see the back of it. Anybody? Anybody know what's on the back of this?
Looks like an Alto and a perk, and looks like an
Yeah.
Engelbart mouse
Yes, right.
Nice.
Engelbart invented
with
the
a
mouse.
horrible Diablo hard drive.
So Alto on the left, what's on the right?
Perk.
The perk is on the right, and the Alto is on the left. So we got a different color too. We got a denim blue, because like what people, one person complained about is like every year we have a black color T-shirt with a different color design. So let's try different T-shirt color. The design color, is whatever, but so we're gonna try to do that this year and see how it goes. So we have a little variation instead of just black T-shirts every year. I did like last year's. Last year's was the Oregon Trail. We do still have those on sale. Basically, it was a spoof on Oregon Trail, and it said, "You have died of syntax error." It's a pretty cool T-shirt.
I bought one of those, and I've worn that around to like various things, and people have commented on it. Where it's just and that's a great thing about these shirts too, is they're kind of that conversation starter, because people be like, oh yeah, I played that game, and it was like, well, what's all this though? I don't remember that. And it's like, oh yeah, it's because this computer show. You got to go check this thing out. Like go online, go to their YouTube page, watch previous years, watch their talks, watch all these things. You can learn all about it. Oh, it's so far away. It doesn't matter. Nothing's stopping you from going out and just engaging with the people that have been at these shows, following their stuff online. If you find value in it, make a donation to their stuff. This is largely kind of a charitable kind of thing. So get out there and make a difference.
Amiga Bill, I think you have to go soon, but what are you doing tomorrow on your Twitch channel?
Oh, cool. Yeah, tomorrow, I stream every Sunday. We call it the Sunday Fun Day. And I want to get some hype going for VCF East. So I was like, you know what? Someone who I met at VCF East that's just been like a huge part of it, and it also has amazing stories, is Bill Hurd. So I'm going to have Bill Hurd on the stream tomorrow. We're going to talk about VCF East memories, his favorite stuff about VCF East, and, of course, some Commodore stuff as well. And it'll be interesting for my viewers, because I really just do Amiga stuff, so it'll be great for them to hear about some of the Commodore 8-bit stuff as well. We'll probably look at our Commodore retrospective exhibit we did as well. It's a long time ago now, probably like 6 or 7 years ago, but we had a really cool exhibit. Like a bunch of Commodore folks got together. My buddy Anthony and I handled the Amiga side, and Bill handled the 8-bit stuff with his friends from the UK. He's coming back. I think he's coming back this year, which is awesome. And a lot of other VCF folks got together with their Commodore computers and made this amazing exhibit. It was really cool. So I'll be showing some pictures and videos from that exhibit, and have Bill will entertain us as always.
Yes. So Bill Hurd will be there. He won't be speaking, but he'll just be hanging out and having fun, enjoying it. He deserves a break. He's been helping out VCF East. He's one of the greatest proponents of our shows. He went to East, he went to West, he went to Midwest, he went to Southwest. So he needs a break. So he'll just be around, and he'll be on your show tomorrow. So what's your channel there on Twitch? What is it?
Oh, it's twitch.tv/Amiga Bill.
All right. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about that on the streamer panel. I'd never intended to stream on Twitch, but it just became a really fun thing to do every Sunday, especially during the pandemic. And we got this like tight Amiga community that comes there every Sunday. Like all the people who are doing, all the new Amiga game devs come on, and I interview them about their games. I love having artists on. Like artwork is my favorite thing about the Amiga. So we just had a huge demo party in Germany called Revision, and I have folks who make the demos and like the pixel art and the music from all the demos at Revision. I have many of them on my streams. I just love to get the community involved and talk about all the latest and cool things that are going on in the Amiga community.
Oh, cool. All right. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you,
June.
Jeff.
All right. No problem. And June, what have you been up to on your Nibbles and Bytes lately?
Well, actually, I've been preparing for VCF Southwest the most. I haven't had time to actually make any videos because work started ramping up again. But I've been doing some live streams with Bill here and there.
Good.
And, this time I'm going to be bringing a bunch of Japanese machines and an AS400. So we'll see if anybody can have some fun messing around with RPG3.
AS400, that's a big boy, right?
Well, it's one of the smaller ones. It's actually an AS400. I think it's a 150. So it looks like a
Define
really
small.
big, heavy PC.
Define small for IBM.
Well, yeah, sure. There you go.
Like small? Small? How small is it?
Small.
Okay.
But like this
Small is relative, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I've got a PVP-11 right to the right of me.
yeah. Are you taking the PC 8001?
Yes, actually. You can't see it in the picture. It's actually behind the pen. And that's one of Japan's first ever fully assembled PCs that they ever made. So it's kind of interesting to see from a historical perspective, especially since I think actually some of the folks from Konami got their start on that machine.
Yours is the 8001A, right?
It's the A, yes. So it's not really a Japanese machine.
So I'll bring my 8001 and we'll just put it on your table.
Sure.
You can have them both
Put them
side by
right side by side. There you go.
That'll be awesome. Excellent.
Actually, we should
So-
see if we can boot CPM because I've got the drives.
Yeah, Usagi will be there Southwest. June, so June you'll be at Southwest. I'll be
correct.
there. They actually invited me to give a talk on the only thing that I could talk about. I don't know anything else. Is like as my role as a showrunner and different like things that happened, and so I'll be there too. I have the hotel booked. I got to make the flight too, so I'll be there Southwest again. I was intending to cut the dial back, but it looks like I'll still be going to Southwest, Midwest, and West and East. So
Yeah, Southwest is gonna be righteous too. So I'm
yeah.
There's so many VCFs that like I kind of have to pick and choose like which two are my top two to go to, because otherwise you're like trying to go to like 7 VCFs throughout the year, throughout the country.
Yes.
And so East was a absolute and Southwest was an absolute. So those are the two that I have to make it to no matter what.
So I have to admit, Bill invited me to VCF East this time around, so I had no excuse. But I'm out of PTO, so like, doing the VCF circuit can easily eat up most of your vacation time.
Yeah.
So, Sagi, do you have any new videos that are coming out or that you're working on right now?
So I have a video that actually comes out tomorrow. I'm sure we've all been there where like you have a project that you're working on. For me, it was an Ads Envoy data terminal, and like it doesn't work. And so I opened it up and I sat down to work on it. And somehow in between the time when it wasn't working the last time I was working on it and this time, it got worse. It's like things broke while it was off.
Oh, it improved.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I can't do it this week, man. So I just like pushed it off into the corner and I went out and worked on a car. So the video that comes out tomorrow is actually me working on a car. So it's a bit different. But I did a lot of filming today for a big video on programming Snake for the Centurion. I printed out the full code listing for it. That's what the floppy disk was for. And then I had the Data 100 running with the code listing. So this is the code listing on it.
It's all in BASIC, right?
No, that's raw Centurion assembly.
Whoa.
It was Centurion assembly is weird because we don't know anything. Like we didn't know anything about it. There's no documentation for the system. We didn't have any source code or anything like that. And a very talented member of the Discord, Ren, wrote a disassembler from scratch and then reverse engineered the entire instruction set, which this is like late 70s that the CPU6 was being built. And this was in that time when mini computer manufacturers were kind of in a competition to see who could have the most opcodes. So like, they go, oh, we've got an 8-bit opcode. So we've got 256 operations. And then somebody else goes, oh, well, we started nesting operations. So we've got 412, whatever. And then so Centurion was like, oh yeah, we've got 1400. Which is dumb. It doesn't make any sense. But he reverse engineered all 1400 and then wrote Snake for it. And it's multiplayer, multi-terminal co-op Snake. So you can set up multiple terminals around and the food shows up on different terminals and you have to move the steak off screen onto somebody else's terminal and they take control of it from there. And it's a really interesting thing. I think it'll be a fun video. So that's the one I'm working on right now.
Oh, awesome. And Mark, you have any videos that you're working on right now?
Oh man, I am about a year late on my videos.
That's okay.
The Patreons are a little bit. No, I release snippets for Patreon, so they know that we have almost done with the. Actually, they don't know that yet, but we got the data link working on the Apollo comms. But I just let me see if I can switch my camera setting that I was working on feverishly in the background. I go over there. We have the.
Oh yes.
So I just got to play the adventure game on on the HP 9825, thanks to the 5-inch disk drives, the 8-inch disk drives, the one you were just playing with, David.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then
Yes. That's the
over
one I
there
actually
we have-
wrote today. I used it today. It still works. It's great.
Wow.
Let me see. Oh, where is it? You cannot see it from that angle. But if I switch cameras, we have a piece of space shuttle equipment that we're working on.
Oh wow.
Is it the amplifier?
It's better than that.
Okay.
It's over there. Wee. This one. There.
Oh, cool.
What do you reckon
yeah.
that is?
Mhm.
That's from the space
Yeah.
shuttle.
Oh, cool.
I saw
That's
I saw the pictures of that. That's awesome.
That's a teleprinter. That's a teletype. The space shuttle had a teletype in it.
Oh, wow.
Kind of
Seriously.
blows my mind. They were trying to outdo the Russians or something.
Well, I heard the teletype. What I was told, because we have one like connected to our UNIVAC 1219B, which will be actually working and demonstrated during the show. And someone told me that the reason why they chose the teletype was because the boat rocks around and moves around, and it was secure so that it wouldn't cause errors and things like that. So that's why they chose the teletype, because it was like no matter what, it's moving around, it's not gonna malfunction.
I lost my camera, I think.
We lost Curious Mark. He's lost in cyberspace.
I'm just wondering how heavy that is, and I think the write up and stuff was like how heavy it was, but I just want to do the math where it's like, how expensive was it to get this to space? Like, what's
actually, Ken calculated it. It was in the millions, 3 million or 4 million. It weighs 57 pounds.
Mhm.
They got it straight out of a military thing. Oh, hold on a second. My camera is gone. There we go.
There we go.
Let me try the other one.
So there's no adaptations to prevent dust buildup or oil buildup or anything? It's literally just a military one?
It's adapted. It's adapted for bitrate. It works faster. It's adapted for RTTY.
Oh, cool.
So it's actually a radio teletype. It had a few little adaptation like that in a bunch of cards that are on the side. Actually, the part that you see open here, that's where we took the cards out to reverse engineer them. But except from that, it's a Navy teletype.
So it's still 5-bit Baudot. What speed does it run at?
This one runs in. You can run it in Baudot, but it's wired up for ASCII 600 bauds.
All right, that's awesome. They were running ASCII. That's
and it's fast. It's a rotating drum inside.
Wow.
And that was before they had the satellite comm. So that was for the first year or two, and then it switched to satellite comm. But the thing is so heavy. What happened? It's the 1980s. They could have a thermal one in there. If they wanted to.
Somebody had the contract,
Yeah, something. The shuttle is that, right? Everybody had a contract with something, and it was not what made sense. It was what the position decided. So that's the new one of the new exciting things. And then we restarted a spectrophotometer that's on Patreon, and so on and so forth. We have so many things, and I'm still trying to blow up your capacitor here.
we'll get it.
Try it. I have it. I can go to 4 kilovolts. Where is it?
That'll do it. 4 kilovolts will get it.
I mean, it's a high pot, so it's. So here it is. Ah,
Make sure you have the camera rolling when you do it.
Mhm.
okay. Well, I cannot stream and watch it at the same time. I don't think it's going to do very much.
Is that a refill?
That's a refill with a huge crack in it.
Oh no! Oh no!
And that's you know well, David, because that's the one we took out of the.
Yeah, that's the one we pulled out. We've been trying to blow it up for like 2 months.
Well, yeah, now I try 500 volts. Okay, so this is. We want to start at 1 kilovolt.
Yeah, if a kilovolt doesn't do it, I'll be impressed.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you have fume extraction because that's gonna stink if it does
Are
go.
you recording it? Somebody-
Yes, it's recording it. It's just live stream, so it's like
Okay,
going to
1
YouTube.
kilovolt. Woo! It's leaky. Didn't like it.
The power supply won't even give you a kilovolt.
No, well, because that's a high pot tester, right? So it's made to figure out if things are leaky, and it's already leaking. So, and I think it's set at 5 milliamps, so it's already leaking more than 5 milliamps at 1 kilovolt. Let's see if I can do it at lower. Oh man, right away. Wow. That's not bad. This is 500, 400 volts, something like that. So what I need to do is I need to, this is high voltage, so I don't want to do that live. I want to do it slowly, but I want to apply continuous AC or DC to it. And if it's already leaking at 5 milliamp, it's going to blow for sure.
I think my favorite part about this exact picture right here is the bottle of water that is right next to the high voltage power supply. I mean,
well, that's how the water gets its fizziness.
When we're throwing caution to the wind, we're throwing it all.
It'll only kill you. It's no big deal.
But it's hurting the whole time it's happening that I'm concerned about.
With the thing open, so I can see where the wind goes. I'm already want to modify it to, of course, remove all the safety features.
Love it.
Blow things up. I need to invite my good friend Electro Boom.
Yeah.
All right. So we never a dull moment over here.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Mark. That's pretty cool. Ron, what's new with your channel, Ron's Computer Videos?
Oh, not a damn thing. No, actually, this has been a really great month. We just came off of, can't really see it because it's kind of a, wait, hold on. Oh, you can see it. We just came off of a community event that's called Marcintosh that kind of uses the whole month of March to kind of get people excited about retro Macintosh things. And we had a lot of great participation this year, and people did neat projects. But I think like maybe one of the big things that absolutely went to the top of everybody's list is a thing that has been called, or is now kind of termed, Global Talk, where basically it uses Apple's internet router software, where you could take your local Apple Talk network and route it across the internet where other people can actually access it. And it's pretty neat because people have been like sharing files, and they have been printing to each other's printers and such.
Global Apple Talk?
Yeah. So it's basically like people, legally distinct Fox lawyers. Okay.
The Samsons. Yeah, I know the Samsons.
The Samsons. Yeah, they're right on. They're on right after Family folks.
Yes,
on Sunday.
Family folks. That's right.
Will you run it over internet, or how does that work?
So you basically just take your Mac, you install some software, and then you open up a single port on your router if you're into that kind of thing, and then it can route across the internet, and you can connect to other people's Apple Talk shares. You can connect to their printers. The big thing that people are experimenting with and playing right now, games. So whereas before a lot of people were, it's like, well, I got my little island of machines. You can now just go ahead and network and play games and do all the fun stuff that that you used to be able to do if you worked in an office with a bunch of Macs back in the
So you
90s.
need a little box, an Apple Talk to whatever converter to internet, or you just
You could. It's all software. So if you have a Macintosh with Ethernet, or something like a Blue SCSI with the Wi-Fi, you can go through and just connect to the internet and then share files and do all the stuff.
On an SE30, I have an SE30.
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to marchintosh.com, there's a link. Marchintosh.com. If you go there, you at the top there's a link that goes to Apple Talk or Global Talk rather. Steve here in the chat wrote a really great little write-up that kind of gets you everything that you need. We have a community maintained list of machines. You basically fill out a Google form, you get access, and then you're ready to play. So
I'm on it.
yeah, that's kind of the exciting thing. I've made a bunch of videos and done a bunch of things, and actually I was trying to think, like, what was the big thing I did? Now that I'm on the spot, I can't remember, but I'm sure it was great.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Steven. Steven, what's new with your channel? Anything new?
Hopefully the microphone works this time.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Mhm.
Wow. Now it's not working. Now it's not working.
No.
You gotta go to Sean. Let me pin over there.
Sean's
Sorry.
terrible computer is to blame for everything.
Mhm.
Now I can't hear, but I'll just talk.
All right.
Yeah, so on my channel this year, what I've been doing is just like a lot of crazy Macintosh stuff. But recently, I've been playing around with a Pioneer Macintosh clone that was only released in Japan. And somehow it was for sale on eBay in the US, and I bought it. And I've been playing around with just like exploring the weird system, because it's basically the worst power Macintosh ever, the 6100, but with a Pioneer speaker system. So obviously I put a G3 upgrade card in there to make it a bit zippier. It will be on display at VCF East, so please come by and see it. Do not break the plastic, but you can look at it. And what's cool is it has a built-in multimedia card, so I'm going to have a Laserdisc player plugged into it, and we have some HyperCard stacks that can control Laserdisc players, so you better believe I'm going to be playing around with that. But as Ron mentioned, Marchintosh was a heck of a thing, and we had a bunch of fun. People were spamming my poor Image Writer 2 printer nonstop. So that's been something that's been going on. And yeah, I just am very excited to see what other people are doing at VCF East. I'll release a video about it, I'm sure. But yeah, that's what's going on at Mac 84.
All right. Thank you. And let's go to Sean, since Sean is there. What's new on Action Retro? Zoom in. Let me see the nose hairs. Let me see your nose hairs.
Well,
Oh no. Kilroy.
well, let's see. Last thing I put out today is today Saturday. Yeah, today's Saturday.
Today is Saturday.
Yeah, I put out a video today messing around with the worst Macintosh clone ever made, the Motorola Star Max. Guest appearance in that video by this guy.
Nice.
And yeah, playing around with that. I went into that video thinking, hey, there's got to be something to love with this computer. Everybody talks crap about it, but it's an old Macintosh. It looks cool. It's got to be some redeeming quality. And I learned that there was none. It's just bad. So yeah, I put that out today. And now I've been playing around with Tiny Core Linux. I want to try to get that running on a Toshiba Libretto. Doesn't work yet, so I don't know if it's actually going to work. But that's what I'm tinkering with right now.
That's wonderful. So I'm going to probably wrap this up because I'm sure you guys are really busy and stuff. But again, VCF East is April 12th, 13th, and 14th. Buy tickets at vcfeast.eventbrite.com. We have the schedule there, the program book. I'm going to put out the location map there. We got some location maps and make it easier to find around the campus. Instead of trying to find 9031, you can find location number 4, and you have Pathfinder signs where you can say, all right, you are here, and you can go over there, because it is a spread out campus. That's one of the disadvantages of it, but there's lots of stuff to see there and lots of fun. Does anybody have any questions for me about this show before we sign off here? Lots of stuff.
Thanks for all you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, seriously.
You're very welcome. I did a lot of work, and I'm going to keep working on it the next few days. I'm going to be very busy, wrapping things up. Some, consignments pretty solid. The front desk is solid. Exhibits, talks, everything. We're just wrapping up, and then just a matter of just moving stuff next week. So I hope to see a lot of people come to the show. I hear about people even at System Source in Baltimore, Maryland, talking about coming to the show. So this is great from people from, not just this state, but surrounding states and far, across the country and other countries. This is really great. So it's just a lot of fun. So any other last minute comments, anybody, before I shut it down?
If you're on the
All right.
fence about coming to the event, get off the fence. Just come to the event and have a good time.
That reminds
And-
me of a 20-minute story I know. Yeah.
No.
Just kidding.
This one time in St. Olaf,
Yes. All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure everyone out there enjoyed it as well. I wanted to spice it up a little bit because people were saying it was boring for me. Just go through the list of all the updates and things. So it's nice to have other people here. And I'll do that next year. Like every update, just have a different person. I think that's a good idea. So thank you, everyone. I'm gonna shut down the stream. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end.